Alfonso's here, the godfather of the game. Many years of wisdom, remember his name. Speakers on stage, they'll drop the keys. Unlock your power and seize the breeze.
Okay, my friends, I have a special treat because today I do want to talk about SDUs, secondary dwelling suites. I want to make sure I'm centered with the camera here so everybody can see me. Of course, I had to knock that over. So, what is this? So, you guys heard of BRRRRs, right? Buy, renovate, rent, refi, repeat. Okay? So, most people, they hear of the word, but they don't know how it works. So, there's many ways of doing this. You can buy a single family home and you renovate it, you rent it out, you refi it, pull your money back out, and then you repeat. But the most powerful thing that you can do is these secondary dwelling units. A lot of the municipalities, especially here in Ontario, there's always a need for more units. And so municipalities are starting to be more flexible with the amount of units that you can have in neighborhoods. And so zoning has changed. And so you'll find that buying a property, adding a secondary dwelling unit in, for example, in the basement. So take a basement and turn it into an apartment. Now you turned a single into a duplex. Going back to the bank to refi it, pulling out all your money, and then maybe you can house hack. This could be an opportunity for someone to get into a deal without having to put a lot of money out of their own pocket. So you will have to borrow money to get it going. But ultimately, because you've added value, right? At some point, you'll have to add value. So here's your, you buy you have to add value. At some point, you add value. How do you do this? You can renovate, you can increase the income, but in this case, you're going to add another unit. So at this point, you can refi, take the profits tax-free, or you can sell, right? This is called a flip. So what I wanted to do, especially with our mastermind here, I wanted to bring strategies that a lot of the people starting out could apply. For example, a lot of these strategies I was doing in my 20s. Now, I spend my time buying apartment buildings all across Canada. But if I had to start over and I was 22, 23, 24 years old, this would be a really great strategy to use. You may be able to use it a few times, so you don't have to put so much money out of your pocket, and you end up with a few duplexes under your belt. So I'm going to look at the market. The market is going to dictate what exactly you can do. For example, right here in Ontario, we have a vacancy issue. We have very low vacancy rates, not a lot of units, not a lot of places for people to live. And so in this market, this is very ideal. My name is Alfonso Cuadra. They call me the godfather of real estate. I've been in business for over 30 years. In real estate, over 26 years. I built a multi-million-dollar portfolio. And now I'm going across North America, talking to people and signing checks. I'm looking for deals because I'm building $1 billion portfolio. Is that you? Let me make an offer you can't refuse. We just don't have enough information to make this decision. There's too many unknowns. And for that reason, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. So I'm going to be focused on the market. Do you have a skill set for renovations? Do you know how to do renovations? If not, you should probably find a contractor. But now I wouldn't just go find any contractor. You want to make sure you interview multiple contractors. You want to make sure that you have contractors that have actual time to be able to do this type of project. Have they done projects like this before? Maybe you see some of the projects that they've done. So at the very beginning, you don't have a deal, but you don't want to get a deal and now you're scrambling looking for a contractor. I think this work has to be done right up front. You should have already a list of available contractors that you can call at any time and they can come and help you out. I don't know. Sometimes you might want to JV with a contractor. Someone that has a skill set in renovations would be an ideal partner. Now they have an invested interest into the deal with you. So having that contractor is key. And having that contractor before you find the deal is even better. You're better off being ready and not have the opportunity than getting the opportunity and you're not ready. You want to find, you want to do this as fast and as easy as possible. And so you want to find a deal that has a separate entrance. So my go-to for SDUs are the bungalows, right? You have your bungalow and then with the side entrance that can be converted into an extra unit. You want to make sure the layout of that property can handle another unit. Obviously you want to get proper permits and whatnot. You want to make sure the lot is big enough for parking. So if it's a single family home, maybe it doesn't come with multiple parking spots. But if you're going to add another unit when you are considering this opportunity, you want to make sure that there's enough parking for another family, for example. If you have another two-bedroom apartment to the basement, if you're adding a 3-bedroom apartment to the basement, this could be a family with 2 vehicles. So parking is going to be very important. And of course, ultimately, you want to do everything legal, right? You don't want to half-ass this. You want to get all the proper permits, which will go back to the contractor and getting that contractor that can help you pull these permits, do everything legal, so you don't get into any trouble in the future. Now, these SDUs gives you an opportunity to get in there with, minimal or just a little bit of your own money. Pull the money out and go to the next one, the next one, the next one. It could be a really good way for you to raise capital if you're just getting started. Join us for our 10th and biggest Expand Investor Conference. And this year, this November, we are doing it in Calgary, Alberta. Yeah! And it's going to be a big one. And I want you to go and get your tickets right away. Our Expand Investor Conference, our 10th edition of our Expand Investor Conference is happening in Alberta. Get your tickets right away.